welcome to Taboo Chronicles. It seems like it's been forever. We're glad that you all are coming to share the evening with us, at least a couple, 45 minutes, an hour. We're really excited about different things that are going on. I also want to just pay attention to a lot of different things. I'm loving this background. I did have on pink. I got my pink lipstick. So it is, yes, it's breast cancer awareness. Last week we had African American, what is it? Black Girl Day off, meaning a day that to take off if you're African American to take care of yourself. And if you know us here at Taboo Chronicles, we are brown and black. So, I'll say brown skin. So we're representing all of the Latinos, the African Americans, the Africans. We're representing everyone of color. I'll say that, and also our other sisters. You know, our other sisters as well. We love you too. But this is a time that we are urging you to go get your mammogram. Save your life. Go get checked. Take time and go get checked. Go get your yearly physicals done. Go get all these things that you need to do that you put on the back burner because we have to take our children around or we taking our mothers around because we are caregivers because we're women. But as women, we need to be taking care of ourselves. So that's what this is all about this month. Take care of yourself. Take care of yourself. Self-care is the best care. So I want to share that with you. Of course, my sister passed away 8 years ago of cancer. So, of course, I am an advocate for uh, breast cancer awareness. And I see my co-host, Fabulous Jackie. Have not seen her in a while. And I'm, of course, Roberta the Tool Lady. And I'm going to go ahead and let her introduce herself. Welcome, sister. Uh-oh, we can't hear you. Uh-oh. She'll be back. It's been a while since she's been on as well. So let her get these technical difficulties out the way. Of course, I was the queen of technical difficulties, so I can give her some grace, right? The other thing that happened or is happening now is fall. You know, we're getting ready to cool off. I believe here in Dallas, Wednesday is going to be our coolest day yet. Still pretty warm outside. It's still getting almost to the 90s, but we're going to get down into the 60s and 70s on Wednesday. So that's going to be a really good feeling too. Um, so the other thing is that with that, what we're going to be talking about tonight, Jackie and I, as soon as she can get back on, we're going to talk about season changes. A lot goes on when season changes. Even our um, so we're going to be talking more about that. So we're just really excited to be back on. Excited again, as I said, to have my sister here with me.
Yes, happy to be back. Okay, I got everything
Right.
situated, y'all. Sorry. It'd been so long since I turned on my personal computer that it was not acting right.
Well, that's okay. It's working now, so we're happy. I said I was usually the person with all the technical difficulties, so I could definitely give you some grace. Well, Jackie, I was just trying to kind of lead us into tonight. It's been a while for our audience, and I was telling them that this month is breast awareness. Also, last week was, take care of yourself. We had a take care of yourself day on Friday. Before that, on Thursday was a mental health day. So it's been a whole lot going on, right? So
Yeah.
we just want to urge you. women out there, go get yourself looked at. Go get your physicals. Take care of yourself. Because I know you say, hey, if I quit, how's the world going to go around, right? Because you're responsible for everybody and everything. But guess what? If you don't, the world's still going to go because you didn't take care of yourself. So it's a much better place with you in it. Again, 8 years ago, my sister she passed away of breast cancer. So I'm for breast cancer awareness. I'm gonna go get these things checked out too. So how about you, Jackie?
Uh, so yeah, it is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. I don't have any personal, story, attached to it. It's just, it's important to just as a whole to take care of yourself. Make sure that you're going to the doctor, getting all your checkups, at least your yearly checkups, and if you are a woman as well, and really just even men can get breast cancer. So it's just being conscious, self-aware, and just paying attention to your body. And I want to add into that to make sure that you're advocating for yourself. A lot of times I hear this very often with the Black and Brown communities, that we have to exaggerate our pain. We have to exaggerate everything in order to actually get the services that we need. And it's unfortunate, but it's the reality. It Despite what race the doctor is, you have to, for whatever reason, because what is the research that the doctors go by, that they study and everything, it is based upon a white man or white female tests and things of that nature. So our things are very, very different from them. Our scales and all the different readings and things like that. So we have to make sure that we're advocating for ourselves. I definitely have to do that a lot when I go to the doctor. But thankfully, my PCP and everyone in his clinic that I see, if it's not him, I see the physician assistants. They are all very like aware and just, oh, okay, something's wrong. Let's go ahead and run every test in the book and let's figure out what's going on. So they exhaust every possible thing that it could be. So they really do hear out their patients at that clinic that I go to.
Yeah. And I like that you said that, because I've had some situations with my health before that I had to advocate for myself, right? And they'll always say, "Oh, let's watch this. Let's watch it. What are we watching for?" I'm like, what does that mean? For say, if we already know something is going on, can we not be preventative or proactive? Why would we watch it? And that blows my mind when I hear a physician say that to someone, if it be cancer, thyroid problems, whatever your health issue is, and they will do that to us, because what they're thinking is, the care may be more expensive than what we can afford, unfortunately. B, we kind of have this respect, super respect, ultra respect for them, and we won't question them. And so that's just a way of them pacifying some of the ways we already feel, some of the anxiety we have when it comes to our physician. So they're like, okay, we'll just watch it. You're going to be okay. But the truth is, if it's your body, you should be able to say, like Jackie said, hey, no, this is what's happening. I don't feel comfortable with it. What are how do you treat this? And then you can even ask, people don't realize this, but you can ask, what are the possibilities? How many people get this? Where does it come from? You could ask all of those questions. And I urge you to. I have a friend who had lung cancer. And when she first got diagnosed, of course, it's scary. Um, and I used to go to the doctor with her, and I'm like, okay, ask about this, ask about that, ask about this, ask for what percentage have they been able to help, to go back into, what is it called when the cancer is taken care of or subdued. How many people have they been able to do that to? What modes of treatment, right? Remission. Thank you. Going into remission. Also, another thing, I told her to ask, do that doctor have a group of doctors to talk to? And guess what? She did. And she said, well, you know what? I'm going to take it to one of our studies. And she did. And that friend has been cancer free, I believe, for 10 years. Right. Right. She went through some progressive, it was a progressive treatment plan because she has one of her lungs now, and they did go in through her back. But she has life, so hey, and she doesn't have cancer. So it's a win-win right there. But we do have to be more progressive at advocating for ourselves. So I like that you did bring that up, and I think that's something we need to ask for. So I agree with you.
Yeah, so let's get into tonight's topic, which is season changes. I hopped in a little late, but I'm sure, Roberta, you mentioned what the topic was for tonight. Uh, I think we've spoken before a little bit about what happens when season changes. Even it's not just always, going into the fall or going into the winter. It can happen going into the spring or going into the summer as well. Your mental health, your depression, anxiety, really anything can be affected by your environment, and that's including the weather in itself and the seasons as they change. I know I've mentioned before, but for our new, audience members, when the holidays come around for me, they are a little difficult. Being in 2017, both my mom and my grandmother passing away, and then in 2020, my other grandmother passing away as well. Holidays are not as joyful as they once were for me. Little by little, as the years go by, it gets better and better. But I can instantly feel, that change because it's back there in my head. Like I know what's coming. I know that the holidays are coming. So it's just a matter of really sticking to the routine, really with your mental health, with your well-being, especially if you're like me, high functioning. It's going to have to do with sticking to your routine, sticking with your medication, keeping an eye on it. Is it working? Is it not? Do I need to up the dose? And myself, I've had to up my dose twice already, just because of life changes. I got a new job in July, so even the good things can affect me. So it's just those, again, it goes back to routine. So with high functioning, that just means that. So one thing I like to say a lot, and is actually the reason to why I will leave a job, is I don't function in dysfunction. There has to be processes, systems. There has to be a start and an end, and it needs to flow somehow, right? We know things happen throughout the day that can throw off. Anything can happen, but high functioning is just I have to function in an environment that has systems in place, and that even comes to my own home. There's, I know I step in, I put my bags down, I go and change, and then I start dinner, or I heat up dinner, or I'll go buy dinner. Like there's a system, and that's just me. I know that's how it goes. But yeah, that's what high functioning is. We just really need to function with systems and things in place that they flow and the day will flow along.
Yeah. And I would say this, kudos to you two uh, tonight, because, and I know that, if we have people that have already listened to us and already follow us, they know that we are an advocate I mean, that's what this whole show is for, advocacy of mental health for people of color, because it's things that we don't talk about. But I
Mhm.
really love that we're making things that are not normal normal to talk about. A, like the mental health part, and B, medication. Because usually when people start talking about the medication, especially people of color, we get really like, wait a minute, you're going too far for me. But
Mhm.
what I love here recently, a lot of that stigma, a lot of it is kind of getting going away and getting knocked down. And I'm hearing more people of color say, hey, I'm talking to my therapist, I'm taking my medication, and also, like you said, these are some of the things that I need, because the whole thing about it is sometimes you don't even know that's what you need to begin with. And when we talk about the seasons, September the 20th was the first day of fall. Again, with the weather changing, the days will get shorter. It's going to get cold here soon.
Mhm.
Um, with all of those things happening, your body does start to, your clock on your body starts telling you, I'm tired. You may even say, hey, we're not getting enough done. So you may even have some things going on with your thoughts, like, in the summertime I can do this and this, in spring I'm able to do this, but here it is, I'm not near getting able to do the things that I'm doing. So all of those things will fall into that seasonal depression mode, right? I'm not able to produce. I got to get all my kids to school. It's a dark time. It's still dark when they get to that bus station in the morning. It's dark when we come in. Um, and it says, what about a person that functions in dysfunction? Would this be a low functioning? Well, it could be either low functioning or someone who doesn't know, right? They may not know that that's what they're doing. For people who function in what is it, toxicity, that can function with dysfunction, they may not even know it's dysfunctional, because you got to think of it, because you
Yeah,
got because you got to think some people don't know it because it's been how they've been living all their life, so they
yeah.
may.
Survival, right? Being in survival mode, we
Right.
learn how to function in that. So it's still, I think, still high functioning, if you can function in dysfunction, because I am functioning in dysfunction at work. It's a lot going on at my job, so like I said, I always say I can't function in dysfunction, and the school manager will say, you are functioning in dysfunction, man. You've learned, you've adapted to it. I'm like, I know, but I hate this. Like, I don't want to have to function through this, but you work through it. And again, that's the high functioning person in me that is like, if there's a will, there's a way, and I got to get it done, and it has to get done no matter what. But not everyone thinks like that. When dysfunction starts, some people just tend to want to throw in the towel, want to give up, just be like, oh, whatever, I'm just gonna do the bare minimum. So what low functioning would be is described as someone who has difficulty performing daily activities or participating in society due to a mental health condition or brain injury. So I would then be low functioning when I am in my depression season. I am still, getting up, doing the things, but I'm not functioning at my 100% self. I'm just moving through the motions. So that's really what low functioning would be.
Yeah.
Um, if you talk about autism, that would be related to the level of their intellectual and developmental abilities.
Yeah. And even I'm gonna tell you something. Even, hey, even some of the people, well, some children are high functioning as well, and so people sometimes feel as though behavior is a negative, but sometimes that behavior can mean that that child is very high functioning. So just some of the words that high functioning kicking it around can mean several different things for different people.
Mm,
But when you're a high functioning, it means this your intellect is a lot higher, and that you can operate. You operate in some things. Now, operating in dysfunction means that you possibly are used to that from, I don't know. I remember one of our co-hosts said that they feel that's how they cope. They feel like they got to do stuff to cope, right? So basically, even in a dysfunction, they have to keep creating stuff. That's what I guess I'm getting to. And that's a dysfunction, right? But that's how they're coping doing that. So that's pretty high functioning when you can do that. And I'm hoping I didn't like make anybody the way they didn't understand a word we're saying, but that's what she means, that you're very high functioning. Children are the same way. They're pretty
yeah.
smart and they may show different behaviors. And you're like, wow, this child has a severe behavior problem when that child may be even gifted and talented, to be honest with you. So that's just one thing that you can kind of look at. I always tell the parents that, hey, your child might be gifted and talented, and you're
Yeah.
looking, because we look at those behaviors as negative, but they may just be high functioning, and what is going on in that classroom may not be enough for them to articulate themselves. So that's just that high functioning and low functioning.
Yeah.
Well, the other thing is, what are some of the signs you would say with depression?
Say that again.
What are some of the signs with depression?
Um, I think I would say it's pretty general for everyone, and I'm gonna say what those symptoms would look like. But I just want to first off start by saying it's pretty general. It's like the same symptoms, it just looks different for everyone, and some symptoms may be higher than other symptoms. Again, I think it just depends on you as a person, how you are, as to what symptoms arise first and then last, and which ones are more severe than the others. So I'm going to speak on me. The symptoms that occur with me is the difficulties waking up in the morning. That is my first sign that when I start to struggle to get up in the morning, despite going to sleep early, or going to sleep with, good amount of time as an adult. What they say, what research says, amount of sleep we should get is at least, 6 to 8 hours per night. But really just depends on you as a person. But that difficulty waking up is my first sign. Falling off on the things that bring me joy. So like the volunteering, my social media content creation, those different things are the then the other four signs that'll occur. Not wanting to eat even though I know I'm hungry. I won't eat. And just every task that is very minor is the hardest. So that getting up off the bed, right? The brushing the teeth, the showering, even just going to the restroom, is difficulty. Like I'll be chained to that bed. That's when I know that I'm like, oh, I'm falling into, here comes a depression, or these are early signs. Let me go ahead and try to do something about this. But luckily, the medication that I am on, and maybe this is the same for other individuals who take medication, it helps me be able to function. So if I'm having a hard time getting off the bed, that's like my biggest challenge first thing in the morning. I'll get off the bed, I take the medication. As soon as it kicks in, I'm functioning. But I can feel that I'm off, but the medication is helping me run my day as I should.
Okay. Because I want people to know, I ask that so we can help people understand, because there's also different forms of depression. So there's situational and then there's chronic. So
Yes.
chronic is when you continually get depressed. Situational is like something happens, like a death or, a loss of a friend, loss of a family member, or say you move. That's situational. But then there's chronic where you continually face depression. And I think it's good to identify it and then go and get help.
Yes,
Go
definitely.
and
And
get
I think I want to add on to that. Like, I have major depressive disorder. So a situation may, throw me off for lack of a better term, start falling into my depression. But then if I don't do what I'm supposed to do, stay on my medication, or inform my psychiatrist that, hey, I think I need to up the dose because I've had this recent life change or this life event occur, um, or fall off on my therapies, then I will fall into the that chronic depression where it's gonna last like a month or two, or 3 or 4, because I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing, because of that life event, or that life change that may have occurred in my life.
yeah. And I would say, like I said, the main thing is to identify it and go and get some type of help with it. And you don't have to go, because I'm aware, being this is taboo for us, right? Something we're not comfortable with talking about, something we're not comfortable with needing. But sometimes we do need somebody else with a different perspective just to talk to us and talk us through things.
Mm.
So that's one thing about therapy. The other thing is sometimes you may need medication to re uh, to rebalance your
The
uh,
chemicals.
yeah, your chemicals. So sometimes you might need that, and there's nothing wrong with it, right? Jackie used to say it's okay not to
Can't be
be
okay.
okay. So just start. You can say, hey, today is not the best day, and I'm not feeling quite well. And and also what I would say is, especially if you're one of these ones that get during seasons that you notice that you do change. You change how you take care of yourself. You change some of the things that you're interested in. You kind of fall very far from your normal. Start getting a journal and writing down some of your thoughts. And then when you do decide to go get help, take that journal with you
Yeah.
so that that professional can kind of understand where your mind is sometimes, and kind of help understand, okay, this is what is going on. Because that would be help. That's helpful. I know when I was going through some things that I had to go, um, yeah, when the time changes, when it gets darker,
Dark.
like now, I feel the changes. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what it
Yeah,
is.
when it rains for a few days, I'm like, okay, come on, my mood starts to change.
Right. Right. Or instantly you're thinking about, okay, we need a pot of beans or some stew and cornbread. I don't need nothing else. And I just need to stay in the house in my jammy. So sometimes those things already run through our head. And some of it is natural, to be honest. That's why we're talking about it. Some of it is natural, but if it's something that goes into being chronic and it's continues and it gets worse, the way you're not doing some of the things you like, Jackie was saying, some things you normally do, go get help. Get your journal. Start writing down those things because that helps you communicate to your to that person that's caring for you. And going back to what we were talking about, even with your physical, get your journal of your health, and that a way that you can start keeping up with it. Also, that professional know, okay, this is what happened on such and such, because you can let that person know. I know when I was sick one time, I that's what I did. I just kept a journal and I take it in there. This is how I feel. I can't sleep. My hair is this way. Uh, I would just let them know. So, Jackie, the other thing is, um, word would you say some of the things they can do to help themselves at home?
um I'm gonna go back to with doing your best to stick to your routine, but also give yourself some grace. So, I had a recent life change. I'm not going to speak on it just yet. Sooner rather than later. I'll speak on it. But I had a recent life change, and I literally, and you know this, I needed a week. It was a week that we had a podcast show, and I was like, I need the week. I need the week to do absolutely nothing but go to work and be with my kids. Like that's it. That's all I can handle, and that's all I'm gonna do. I had to tell my part-time job, I'm sorry, don't reach out to me this week. I'm not gonna do anything. Let my and an added thing that I did too, and this is super super important, and it's hard to do when you feel like you're in a bad place, is to tell your people, tell the people that you can trust, whether that's one person or multiple individuals. Tell them. That's one thing I never ever 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 did. And Roberta will tell you, like, she would have to pull it out of me. Of course she knew, she could see it, but she would have to literally, it was like pulling teeth, like, tell me what's going on, how are you feeling, what do you need. So I actually took the initiative to tell everyone who is most important in my life, like, hey, this is what I'm going through. This is how I'm feeling, and I feel like I have been pushed over the edge, and I could get into that dark place, but I don't want to. So I'm going to, get up and go get my hair done. I'm gonna go do something, just so I'm not here at home. I went out that night. It was a Saturday. I went out that Friday as well. So then that Monday was the podcast show. I was like, I'm not gonna do the podcast. I'm like, it's just not. It's not anything that I can handle right now. One, I'm tired from the weekend. Two, I just need to just disconnect completely. But everyone who is important in my life knew what I was going through, and did not take it personal. If they reached out and I did not respond, or if they reached out and I gave a very short, I'm okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. So that 1 week, I think it was the best thing I could have ever done for myself, because literally bounced back the following week, getting back into my routine slowly but surely, not rushing into it either. Definitely don't want to rush into anything. So it's just doing giving yourself some grace, number one. Number two, trying to get back into that routine, however slow that you need to take it to get back into the swing of things, that is how it should be going for you in your life. And sticking to your regimen, whether that's therapy or medication, or not therapy, but you have a mentor, or you have a group friend, or you do yoga, meditation, whatever that thing is, that's your regimen to help you stay, to help you with your mental health and your well-being and stay intact, is do that thing or things.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Now, for me, I want to just first go back to what Jackie was saying. And when you do have a friend, and then I'm gonna give you some of my list. But when you do have a friend that that is having a hard time, be sure not to reflect what you feel or what you think on them. So I mean, saying like, "Oh, you shouldn't feel like that. Oh, that's not real," or you
Oh
ain't
my
got to
God,
do
yes.
right. You ain't got to do that. I remember when I try not to do that because
Yeah,
that's disqualifying their emotions and where they're at,
for
and
sure.
they're actually in a place where it's very dark. So you don't want to disqualify their emotions, because that's telling them that they're not important enough to even have emotions. So you don't want to do that to your friend. Another thing is to give them some time, because a lot of stuff that happens to us, we have to process it ourselves. And even though it looks like we're struggling, we just don't really need someone like badgering us, like, what is it? What is it? What's going on?
Yes.
So
Yeah.
give them some time to process too, because that's what they're doing. They're processing like what's going on. Give them that time they need to process it and then come back to you. And then, like she said, I always say, what can I do to help you? And that way that person can tell me, if it's this, or if it's nothing, and I accept it, right?
I was
Because
about to say, and accept it. Don't turn
right,
around and try to be like, well, what if? No, you just asked me what I
right,
want, and I just told you. Now you're making me double guess myself of even telling you,
right,
where I'm at, what's going on. And that goes hand in hand with the don't take it personal. Like, it's not you. Like, don't take it personal. I say this, I think even more so now because of my supervisor. She says it all the time, don't take it personal. And that has become like a mantra of mine,
uh,
because I am someone, because I am an empath, because I do wear my emotions on my sleeve. I do take a lot of things personal. But being having her, as a coach and mentor, and even a friend, and having to learn this in this new job, to not take things personal, it has truly been embedded into me. And I really don't take nothing personal anymore. I'm just like, okay, just let it roll off my back like water.
yeah. And I think that's really perfect, because when a person is going through something, it has nothing to do with you. And even when a person has like anger issues, behavior, even if a child, it really rarely has anything to do with you. It's maybe something they've been through, or something they've already been open to, and there you are. So you're there to get it, but it's not you. So just being able to identify that way you're not becoming more of the picture. um, the other, what I do when I want to, when I feel stressed or even feel depressed, I love listening to music, so that's one of my go-tos. I may have a little music party here by myself, but and I just listen to music. Now I'm not listening to anything that's saying like, anything that has a negative message, but it's mostly really enlightening music. I do affirmations. um I love spicy food. Spicy food is good for, it's good for depression. So Hispanic food, the cuisine, African, all of those spice foods, all of those foods that have spices in it are known to be good for seasonal depression. So I like spicy food. Um, and I like to kind of take care of myself, right? So I may get exhausted, like I may go and get my nails and feet done. Um, or I may sit in here and make me a bath with all these aromas in it, and just sit in here and just like I'm at a spa, and it does the trick. It makes me feel really good. I may get really relaxed. So you can do things like that to help with seasonal depression. Uh, and like again, if it goes on longer than, would you say a week, Jackie? Goes longer than a week, you may need some help with it, because that means that it's going into becoming more severe. And I'll tell you a trick about it. Your endomorphines are not shooting off as though they should in your brain. So your chemicals are not firing off. So if you feel like, hey, I don't get happy about anything, that's what's happening. So that's where the medication comes in, because that medication helps them shoot off like a satellite. And when you're depressed for a long time, this is the only reason why I'm bringing it up. When you're depressed for a long time, guess what? Your brain is used to going that way. So it's almost like a thought or anything else you do. Your brain is just actually stuck in that depressive mode. So it doesn't shoot off anymore. And it's real. Like I said, this is Taboo Chronicle. but it is real. Depression is real. Jackie, got something to add to it?
Um, just again, I'm gonna go back to what I've said earlier is to just be very self-aware. Say something to someone, even if it's just one person. Just because that one person will know, to check in with you, because when you're in your depression and depressive state, you may tell yourself that I don't want to see no one, I don't want to be around no one, I don't need anyone checking in on me. But really, it is what we actually need. When in that, we are social beings, we are human beings, and we need connection. That's one of the dimensions of wellness. The 7, 8 that there are. So just be self-aware, say something, um, give yourself grace. Ultimately, I think.
Yeah, yeah. So be patient and be kind with yourself, right?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
And always remember that it's okay to not be okay. I'm going to
definitely.
say it again. It's okay to not be okay despite what we were told growing up. It is huevona, that you're lazy. Get up. Do this, that, the third. You need to always be doing something. We tend to operate as machines. We are not machines. We are human beings, and we require rest.
Right,
So give yourself grace and tell yourself, I'm not okay, and it's okay.
right, right. And if you know anyone that is going through a depressive mode, again, be patient with them. Be patient with them.
Take it personal.
What'd you say?
And don't take it personal. I'm gonna keep saying it.
Right, right. And that's true. Don't take it personal. Any behaviors you don't, you can't take it personal because it's not you. It's that person. Um, so, and we hope you got something out of it tonight, guys. But I did think in my top of my head, I did have like, if even if you have some health issues or someone with health issues, depression is real when you have health issues as well, because you got to think that person is going through the process of their independence being threatened.
Mhm.
If not, independence has already been taken because they're ill. So you want to be patient with them as well. You know,
Yes. And if they tell you, I got it, then no, they got it.
yeah,
Uh, I am personally experiencing this right now with a friend of mine. Um, and it's like what's told to me is don't handicap me. I'm fine. I can do it. And it's very I did at first, I was like, I'm just trying to help, but then as I started thinking, I'm like, well, no, this person has health issues, and they constantly, or when it's severe, they're having to rely on someone. So when it's not severe and it's minor, or even if it's just has nothing to do with their health, drop a phone and you want to help, it's literally like, no, I got it, like,
yeah,
let me do it, because
yeah,
they're constantly have someone hovering over them when they are, when they are in the critical condition of their health.
right,
So at first I didn't get it, because as a Hispanic person, we help. It's what we do. You see someone that needs help, you're gonna help. You drop something, you need something, oh, I'll go get it for you. It's just an automatic. It's just, I think, something that was engraved in us, like when someone walks to the door, you need a water. It's like an automatic, thing with in my culture that I was raised in, to lend a helping hand, and to have someone that is telling me, I got it, like, we're good, relax. To be
yeah,
told to relax, I was like, whoa. I'm like, you right. I'm like, I'm always trying to help someone, and people, it's the people pleaser in me, right? I think I've
yeah,
done a lot better now, but it's that people pleaser in me, and wanting to lend a helping hand to everyone and anyone at any given moment, and to be told, relax,
yeah,
chill, like, you good,
yeah, yeah,
breather.
yeah. Because it is. It's because I've heard people on both sides, like, their attitude's so bad. How do we help them? And they don't want to help themselves. All of these things. But the thing is, you got to think they're giving up independence. That transition alone is major, right? If you're not driving anymore, you're not going to work anymore. That all you're giving up everything about yourself due to an illness. That's horrible, and it's horrifying, and it's scary. And so, yeah, they want to keep some kind of, some type of independence somewhere, even if it's just, let me. I always say, if they feel good enough, let them do it. If they feel like pulling the trash out to the street, let them try. It's not gonna hurt. If they feel like, putting a little soup on for themselves, let them try. And you just try to be there just as a, to listen, and say, okay, not necessarily say, I know what you got going on, or I know the doctor said this and this, because nobody want to hear that. They know reality. They're living it. But
Yep.
I just thought that that would be part of this message as well, because that is a season. So, and like I told Jackie, when she brought it up, I said, now that I look at it, seasons can fit all kind of things, all kind of transitions, just
Oh
not
yeah,
right,
for
because we
sure.
all go through different seasons.
Hmm.
Well, that would conclude our show. I'm so happy to have my fabulous co-host back, Jackie. I loved having you tonight. And I am so happy for Jason. He sat in with me that day you weren't in. So I'm happy for Jason. A shout out to him.
Yes, I was ready to step in.
Right, right. So, and we really appreciate you all for this, just weathering the storm with us as we go through life,
Yes.
right? Because we all be life, because life be lifing for all of us.
Oh, for sure. Life be life.
And
Tell you.
right, right. Like and follow us. We're also on YouTube, we're on Facebook, Instagram, and we also would like to hear more about what you want to talk about on our show. And that's it for me. How about you, Jackie?
Yeah, just follow us on Taboo Chronicles podcast on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Also, we are content. We have our own individual content creation page. I'm the Jackie, the Wellness Advocate, and Roberta is Roberta, the Tool Lady. You can follow us, and you can always reach the both of us, separately or through our Taboo Chronicles podcast pages. Should you need any resources, if there's a topic that you want us to touch on, please don't hesitate to reach out and let us know. We want to hear from y'all. We want to be engaging with you all during our episodes as well.
Yes. And that's it. And women, self care is the best care. And I'm
Yes.
going to go ahead and say, Jackie said, don't leave the men out, but it is our month because it is our pink month, right? But men too, self care is the best care. Take care of self, right?
Take care of yourselves. Bye.
Love you.